Hey everyone. So I saw a tip on Blender Guru's channel where he was able to use like a slice plane in Blender to make an object's profile follow along a certain direction. So I think he used like a picture frame. It was like a very beveled, detailed picture frame, and he was showing you how you could sort of make that come around a sharp angle without having to do much work to maintain its form. So a perfect example here. I'm just working on a quick pop-up bar, and I was told I had to add a skirting board. So I create this very, very simple one to begin with down here, and then we get to this corner and I have to make it wrap around this wall. So I thought this is a perfect example to show how it can be done in Max. It might have been done before on YouTube, but I didn't see it, so I just thought I would show you it because it's a very handy little tip. So I've just pulled this in. I'll just isolate it so you can see there. Click on isolate selection. I've deleted the faces on this side, so I've got faces on this side, but there's nothing here. It's just an edge, or it's a border, sorry. So we'll unisolate that so we can see. So with that in mind, you've deleted the faces on this side. Well, you and I have to once we use a slice plane. Sorry about these lines. That's my graphic card playing up with 2019 Max. As you can see, usually what happens is if I click off and come back, it fixes. Anyway, so with this box, first of all, I'll just convert it to an editable polygon. It doesn't need to have a standard primitive underneath it. So I'll turn on edge mode selection, and then underneath edit geometry, we're looking for slice plane. When I select slice plane, it gives me this little yellow plane. It's kind of a representation of the slice that's going to be made through my object. So right now it's horizontal. I need this to be vertical, so I press E for select and rotate, and let's move this around by 90. And now, and by the way, just so you can see that again, keep an eye down here, and you can see then your increments that you're moving in. If you're struggling to get it by 90 degrees, make sure that your snaps toggle is on, your angle snap toggle, sorry, you can press A to turn that on, and that's going to give you by default an incremental selection of 5 degrees. So I'll just move this around and see on the X there, it's coming up to 90. And now at this point, we'll move this to 45. So I'm just going to again on the Z axis, move that to 45. And that's going to be a perfect angle for this corner. Now I'm going to turn off slice, or sorry, with slice plane still turned on, with my angle set up, then just make sure you select slice, which is underneath slice plane. Then you turn off slice plane, and you'll see that this slice has been created, or this edge has been created. So now we'll turn off edge mode selection. I'll press 4 for polygon mode, or you can actually press the polygon mode selection, and I'll just delete all these faces. So I want to actually turn off window crossing mode there, so just now everything that my actual selection box touches will highlight. So now we'll just press delete. And now from there, let's go back to 2 for edge mode selection. Press W for select and move. And now this time if I hold down shift and then click and drag on the X axis, we have that perfect angular, angle in the middle there for pulling out this other edge, and it's the exact same size and width as the original direction. Obviously we have to now fix this. So coming across to edit geometry again, underneath your alignment tools, if we align it on the X axis just by selecting X, you'll see that's now perfectly straightened up. I'll turn off edge mode selection now then, and I'm actually just going to fix my gizmo here. So I'll come across the hierarchy, effect pivot only, or my pivot point, sorry, affecting the pivot, not the gizmo, and this center that to object, and then turn off effect pivot only, and now that's it back to the center. So let's just sort of roughly place or put this into position. Face mode, I'm just going to move this out. Back to edge mode, and now let's continue this. So I'll pull this out. I'm actually just going to extend it a bit further so I can use the same method to wrap around this corner. So again, slice plane, it's already set up in the right angle from where we were before, so I'm just going to move this all the way across to about here or so. I'm just doing this quite rough. And then from here, again, select slice, turn off slice plane. I'll press 4 then to go to polygon mode, delete these extra ones that stick out, delete. And then same thing, back to edge mode, and this time we'll hold shift and drag on the Y axis, and now we have that corner, or outer corner, so we have the inside corner and then this outside angle corner. And then again, let's align this time it would be the Y axis. If you mess up, if you press the wrong button, it's fine, just press Ctrl Z to go back. And y-axis, and I'll bring that all the way across. If you want to be really picky or really precise, you can move that by eye, or you can press S to turn on snaps. Make sure vertex is selected, enable axis constraints is on, and then from there you can actually make that pop to any other vertices on the wall behind it. So I can make that come right to around this one. And then finally, I'm going to just hold down Control to change this edge selection to a border selection. That allows me then to cap this. And there we have it. Finally, I'm just going to use a chamfer modifier. So this is actually a great method I got from Chamfer Zone. I also downloaded Quad Chamfer. Chamfer modifier should work fine. But at this stage, if I just use polygon mode, press select all, Control A, in my smoothing groups, I'll just set up an angle here. Auto smooth, that should be alright, but let's just have a look. So yeah, auto smooth by 45-degree angle worked perfectly for me. Although what I might do is I want a sharper edge here. So actually, let's just move this angle down a little bit. Let's try again. We'll just lower that value. And now we have that sharp edge, but yet still have a smooth edge across this part of the skirting board. And now let's turn off polygon mode. I'm just going to add my quad chamfer modifier. This would also work with the standard chamfer. In fact, I'll show you how we do it with standard chamfer. This is straight from Chamfer Zone. I don't want to take credit for this one. But if we use chamfer and then underneath selection or input option, change it to unsmoothed edges. And now you have your chamfer that you can modify and change to your heart's content. So I hope that helped. I know I don't think I'd seen it in Mac, so hopefully somebody gets use out of this. Thank you, and hopefully I'll do more of these. Till next time.